Hey everyone, I'm Jay.
And I'm Sean.
And we watched a movie.
Well, kind of.
I knew you would say that. Oh, you really like to be a stickler for the definition. I mean, it's a documentary.
In quotes, yes. They labeled it as
a documentary. Well, what is the word for this? It is concert footage, basically.
It is, yeah. It's a music video of her concert. And that's about it.
Okay.
Plus her and her mom and a million of her best friends just backstage.
Yeah.
Talking about
Trump.
Yeah. Random things.
I mean, yes. Here's the thing. If you love Ariana Grande, good news. This documentary, Excuse Me, I Love You, has just dropped on Netflix, December 21st. If you caught her concert and want to relive the magic, if you missed her concert and want to experience for the first time in the comfort of your own home for a fraction of the cost, either way, you're getting the concert.
This is it. Yeah.
Here it is. Tiny bits of rehearsal, tiny bits of Ariana backstage, as Sean said. That's what you get. It is 100% fan service that way.
Yep.
It is 0% getting to know the woman behind the music.
Nope.
No probing questions, no insights,
no questions
nothing
at
personal.
all. This isn't even like a superficial interview.
No.
It is just a collection of
really
video that they just seem to have randomly selected.
Yeah, I mean, it really is just the concert footage from London with a tiny bit of the other stuff thrown in between. And none of it adds up to anything. Like, nothing new is revealed or interesting or anything.
No.
So, if you were hoping to learn a little bit more about her, as some of these other music and musician documentaries have done, we had Shawn Mendes recently. We've had actually a bunch from Taylor Swift. I was just a couple of weeks ago, I guess, the folklore one from Taylor Swift came out on Disney+. Who was just, Billie Eilish is going to have one on Apple TV shortly. So lots of people are doing these. Not everyone is doing them equally well. So it really depends what you're looking for. Myself, I won't speak for you, Sean, so jump in. Not an Ariana fan.
No.
I am not an unfan. I don't hate her. I don't dislike her. I just, her music does not super speak to me.
I don't know who it super speaks to. It's just,
we saw a whole bunch of people screaming in the concert.
All the words.
They sure
and I don't
did.
know how you know all the words to these songs.
I do. I already do know.
Oh, do you?
Well, because there's only about 4 or 5 words total.
Okay.
And hardly rearranged, I have to say. I looked up some of the lyrics for some insight, and I realized, joke's on me, there's really nothing there.
Okay.
So wherever Ariana is hiding her personality, is that what's inside the ponytail? I don't know. It's not in her music and it's not in her concerts. So moving right along. Oh, we're gonna get so much hate.
Well,
I've already been called a Swiftie, which is hilarious.
A Swiftie?
Yes. I mean,
wow.
I realize as far as insults go, that's not a great one. Although this person intended it as a pretty big one.
Oh boy.
I will tell you, I'm not really a Taylor Swift fan either. Although she has grown on me. I respect her.
Well, she's a very good songwriter.
Clearly.
I don't think you can say the same for Ariana Grande.
No. So let's just dive in, because so much is coming up already. And the very first song that we see her in the concert is God is a Woman. So I don't know if this is the concert opener or what, but it was pretty much the opener for us. She is seated at what I can only describe as a Last Supper type table.
Totally.
The Last Supper table. Yep. And she is in the middle, which means she's the Jesus of this table. But then the song obviously goes on to say God is a woman. So is she Jesus or is she God? Definitely she thinks she's God, because that's the one I did look up the lyrics for. And it turns out she does think she's God, and it's because she's so good at sex. So, and so those lyrics are the most inane lyrics I hope she has. My gosh, I did not do a deep dive on this, but those are ridiculously inane lyrics. And it took 4 other grown-up people to help her write them. 5 people! share writing credit on the stupidest song I've maybe ever heard. So that's ridiculous. And like, if this is about Ariana's sex life, why are there 5 other adults on it, and who are they?
They're her best friends.
Yes. So yes, she's really setting the scene, or somebody is. She has a pretty good sense of herself. She feels pretty good about herself.
Well, that's nice.
And then I immediately felt very bad about her, and because she follows it up with Scooter Braun. Scooter Braun. So she's pretty unashamed of her association with manager Scooter Braun. And that's why I was called a Swiftie, because the minute this guy comes on screen, Sean and I both, at the very same time, booed him.
Yeah.
Because we know there's really
He's a bad guy.
only one side to be on here. It's not opinion, it's nothing. It's really, he is the guy who like robbed Taylor Swift of all of her songs. It's just, and I mean, it's 2020, so for a man to be stealing, outright stealing from one of the greatest recording artists of her time, it's not a good look. And I think it's not a good look for Ariana to be on Team Scooter Braun. First of all, his name is Scooter, as if we needed any other evidence against him. Nobody honest was ever named Scooter. But anyways, it seems pretty deliberate, you know, to put your manager in something more than once. This guy does not need to be in the documentary at all, because it's not a documentary. It's just concert footage. No. So the fact that she's flashing him up on the screen multiple times seems like a deliberate poke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and so I'm not okay with that. I think it not just violates the girl code, but I think it violates, like, artists need to be sticking together, female artists need to be sticking together, good people maybe should just want to, so I think maybe you're not a good people if that's who you're associating with.
Yeah, I agree with that. And as you said, it's a conscious choice, because he doesn't need to be in it. None of these people need to be in it.
None of them needed to be in it. Yeah, I really, this was a tough one for me, as you know. It was like, is there anything interesting ahead? Can you tell?
The answer is no.
The answer is no.
There's nothing
so stop
interesting.
looking. Yeah, if you're not liking it in the first 5, stop.
No, this is totally, as you said, if you like the songs or want to go to an Ariana Grande concert, then watch this, because that's what it is. It's nothing else.
So one thing that that we see in almost all of these concert footage type deals is the backstage prayer circle.
Yeah.
Which infuriated me. And this is not a knock on Ariana, because
no, it goes
this
everywhere.
is like everywhere.
It's an
like
HR issue.
There are no atheists in pop music, and we already knew there were none in rap, but none in pop music. There's somehow everyone making pop music is a deep-seated Christian who needs to force their employees to hold hands and pray out loud every day. And you know, prayer in the workplace is kind of contentious. At most, it should be voluntary. This does not feel voluntary. It feels very much like a weird moment of groupthink. But I've seen it. I feel in every single one of these I've ever seen.
Yeah, it is.
And like, I get having like a moment of like energy and pumping yourself up together.
Yes.
But this is really out loud thanking God and telling him to make this a good show, even though why the hell would God care? But this is very prevalent. So it really made me think, why is this okay?
Well, are they praying to Ariana?
Well, God is a woman. That's all I know, Sean. That is all I learned from this. And I wish I could unlearn it, believe me. So Sean, I had an issue with almost everything in this documentary. You had an issue with the number of best friends.
Yeah, they're all listed as best friends.
Yes, they are.
I lost count of how many best friends she had.
She has a lot.
Yes, I did take issue with that. Because in my view, you only have one best friend.
Well, I mean, the word best does sort of indicate one, right? Just best. There's good, there's great, but best usually means there's just one.
Yeah.
However, Mindy Lahiri, who is the star of the Mindy Project, played and written by Mindy Kaling, always told people that best friend is not a person, it's a tier. So this is the tier of my best friends.
Okay.
So clearly Ariana subscribes to that theory.
Yeah.
However, I do wonder how best these friends can be when they're all on the payroll.
Yeah.
And clearly they all are.
They all are. Yeah, it's like her choreographer's brother.
Just random people, but they're all there. They're just always all hanging on. Like, she cannot be alone. For 1 second, she cannot be alone. I feel a little weird and sad about that. And I feel a little weird and sad to have to include her mother, Joan, in that. But, and again, we can't speak to Ariana's life as a whole because we're not privy to that whatsoever. We're only privy to the footage that they're showing us. But it seems like the mom is around an awful lot.
Oh, all
which
the
is
time.
weird. Ariana's 27 years old. She's I know she's little, but she's old, so she does not need her mommy. So I don't know if the mom is also collecting a paycheck. No, scratch that. I'm sure the mother is also collecting a paycheck.
Right.
But it's still weird. Why? Like, nobody should want their mother around that much.
Well, not when you're on tour.
Not when you're singing about how good your godlike sex is when you're gyrating around in pants that aren't all there. You don't need your mother to be there for that.
No.
And some would even prefer that they not be there, and yet she seems to pay her mother to be there. It's a whole weird thing that I just don't understand.
No, we're not going to understand it because...
So if you're hoping to learn something about Ariana, like, I feel like I understand her even less. And I don't know anything about her except for sometimes her songs on the radio. And I could not have told you, like, I could not have named a single Ariana song. And now I can only name that one, God is a Woman. I won't forget that. Yes, I will. I forget everything. But I know she's on the radio, and I know I've heard plenty of her songs. They just don't stick out to me.
Well, that's kind of the one unifying theory of Ariana Grande, I think.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's generic pop.
Yeah.
Like, there is nothing
Yes.
remarkable about any of her songs. They are exactly what the song of the moment sounds like.
Okay. Well, she told us, though, that she had a 90s sound. And she does have that NSYNC riff. That's the only thing I recognized in the whole concert. Oh, I'm old.
Well, I mean, like Mariah Carey-ish? Do you think where she's going with that?
No, I mean, Mariah Carey was never that kind of pop in the 90s.
She wasn't, no.
No. I mean, few were. Not really until we got Britney Spears back did, like, that kind of stuff start happening.
Yeah, that's true. And that's barely 90s.
Yeah, but like we were, grunge and alt.
Yeah.
The 90s were not as much about pop.
No, they weren't. That's very true.
Anyways, so Joan Grande makes a lot, she's around all the time. No sight of brother Frankie. Though I think by Joan's mere constant presence, she has declared a winner in the Which Child Do I Love? No, I already knew which one, because she named one Ariana and one Frankie. So you already knew who was the winner. And Frankie is the older sibling, but did not get all of the charms in life. Sorry, Frankie.
Sorry,
we love you. Now, my only takeaway is that Ariana must be a pretty good marketing person. She has marketed herself. She has basically filmed an 1.5 hour long commercial for her tours, for her albums, for herself, because she is the product. There's no doubt about that. And on the very same day that it was released on Netflix is the day she announced her engagement to boyfriend Dalton Gomez. So of course people love to follow her love life because she writes about it all the time. And she and 5 of her best friends write about it.
Yeah.
Dalton Gomez is a luxury real estate agent. May have shown her some properties. Yeah. He's, I think, 25, but he looks about 12, so thank goodness it was a quick engagement, because you're definitely going to want to get on that. And yeah, hopefully a long and beautiful engagement.
Well, hopefully, I mean, maybe they can even get married.
Perhaps even ending in marriage, who knows? Yeah.
Time will tell.
I mean, they probably have like a certain amount of time they have to stay engaged just to like pay off that ring. Because I'm certain he did not pay in dollars for it. I think you have to just advertise it and constantly flash it around. Because he's a 25-year-old kid. Where did he get this money?
From luxury real estate.
Yeah. Okay. I guess. Ariana had to buy and sell a lot of properties to get that ring on her finger. Anyways. She did good. She did a good commercial for herself. She's very Ariana. She never strips the Ariana away. Because, like, she does have, like you're saying, every song is just whatever. And so is her look, right? It has never changed. She's always been the ponytail girl.
Yep.
And it does feel like her haircut is her personality. And maybe that really is all there is there. Certainly all she wants us to see.
She's not offering anything. Maybe she is a very interesting person, but
maybe
you don't get it from this documentary.
Oh, no. No, you do
There's
not.
nothing here.
No.
Just dancing around.
Yeah.
Lip syncing to songs.
In like PVC, the unbreathable-est material known to humanity.
Yeah.
A weird choice. And again, that's not a commentary on Ariana.
No,
because
that's
certainly,
a lot of the music industry. Well, as you said when we were watching
I know.
the people that are visibly sweating and have like 5 layers of clothing on for style reasons.
They're slaves to fashion, Sean. Well, to PVC. How can you be a slave to plastic? I don't even know. But there you have it. Those are brilliant takeaways of this movie.
That's what we learned.
Ariana Grande, Excuse Me, I Love You is on Netflix. Have a gander. Let us know if you're a super fan. And,
I'm sure they will.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.